Hey, what's up, guys? Back again with the analysis video. I know it's been quite some time since I dropped an analysis video on the channel. Things have been kind of hectic in terms of just I think work in general. But yeah, we're back at it again. Um, I have been actually trading, so we are just going to analyze and look at how things have actually been on the markets ever since I think the last time I did drop the an analysis video on the channel. So let's just jump straight into it. Ooh, um, I'm getting a little bit of a early an early twist to the morning. Um, so we're looking at DXY. We are going to be looking at a couple of symbols. I think I will also mention why I also am cutting out gold, but I think we're going to be looking at DXY, the dollar, US100, which is Nasdaq, US30 is Dow Jones, and as well too as with Bitcoin. But let's start with DXY. So as you guys can see on the monthly, the bigger time frame that we're looking at right now, we are within the channel right now. As we have been bouncing off of this resistance level for few months now. It's been months, so at least now we're kind of seeing a little bit of like movement pick up. With the dollar, we zoom into weekly, things are actually pushing to the upside as well too. I remember I did mark out this zone as a strong resistance level. Hopefully now we are breaking above this resistance level and actually creating higher highs and higher lows, forming an uptrend. But we'll just have to wait and see and how things actually. I think like this, if we come back, retest this zone right here. So if we do this, I'll just actually. So from here, we actually break this level completely, then I'll be actually 100% sure that we're going to be pushing much higher with the dollar. But I think for now, it's not 100% certain. I will be waiting for a retest around the zone and then break through, pushing to the upside. So with the dollar, I'm still neutral on it for now, but we'll see on how things play about. But I think on the smaller time frame, how I'm seeing things, yeah, it's just exactly as I mentioned and playing out. Just retest it and push to the upside. So hopefully we can see some positive outcome play out as is. Now, we are in Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, uh, let me some stuff that I have here, so you can be able to clean my charts. So Nasdaq as is, I'm just gonna actually delete. So Nasdaq as is, as you can see on the bigger time frame, we have been ranging in between two zones. So I'm just gonna make them change. So this is a support and clone, and this chair is the resistance level. Yeah, so we've been ranging between the zone here on the weekly, but as you can see, this just overall on the monthly time frame, we are seeing a kind of pattern form around here. So now that the month of July is actually kind of we're in kind of the first week of July, this candlestick will actually have to kind of present itself and showing what how this overall outcome could play about. But what I am expecting is we could maybe possibly get maybe a pullback to the zone right here, which is around this level here. So I'm gonna actually take out my fib. There's a little trick that I do use as is in kind of playing out and seeing on how things could. Mm, yeah, no. I think we still need to push a little much higher. So usually my zones are within the 1.618 level and 2.618. Those are my reversal zones. So now that I'm seeing it as is here, I really don't think we are going to be pulling back into that zone, but we'll have to just wait and see and how this monthly candlestick plays about. But nonetheless, let's move this and zoom in. So on the weekly resistance support level, when you do zoom in onto daily, you guys can see as is on how we have kind of like rejected the zone, kind of did a little bit of fake out and then bounced straight out back up. So kind of like ranging into this level. But what I am seeing uh, is a little bit of a pattern. So there you did probably see, if you did see me open NASDAQ, you did see that I did lay out trend lines here as a, so so I don't like usually trading within range zones because it can get really choppy. But what I am going to kind of expect with this move is a kind of push to the upside, because if you guys are familiar with triangle patterns, this is kind of actually formulating some kind of pattern right now. So if I show you now, there's about 5-star touch. Now I'm kind of expecting a little push to the upside as is, just to see how things play out for now. So if around this level, if I get a break above this zone, yeah, then maybe a possible retest. I could maybe enter this either tomorrow, but I want to wait and see if you get a break above this zone. If you do get a break above this zone, then I will be looking for buy entries going to the upside. If not, then we could possibly drop quite low, given base that I did see how the monthly time frame is looking like. So we'll have to kind of just wait and see on how this plays out. Maybe tomorrow Wednesday might give us like a solid view on how NASDAQ is going to play out. But for now, I will be waiting on some kind of move that says. I think I have been trading US 30 though. So yeah, US 30 has been one tough pair, as you guys can see. It's been like, I think there's two positions that literally put inches away from my take profit, and then obviously just reverse and then come straight down. But I'd have a break even position as is within both positions, just to make sure that I can be able to secure my entry points within the zones. But I think nonetheless, yeah, US30 has been a bit of a put me on a bit of a, like a roller coaster as is. So, because things have been quite choppy, you can even see like the wicks, man. It's just like the wicks have been like really crazy within the past like kind of like 2 months. But yeah, I think with US30, I am, when we do zoom out onto the monthly, you guys can see that things have actually been bullish for quite some time. You see, it's been bullish for really, it's been moving really solid to the upside. Zooming onto weekly, you can see as well too, price has been bullish for quite some time as well too. So we move on to daily. You can see daily is kind of also respecting certain levels and zones well enough as is. I think because obviously the spread is very kind of high on US30, is very hard to get those really precise entries that you want to kind of catch with US30. So you have to really like dive into like the smaller time frame and like milk it from there. But yeah, I think with the entries that I have gone in with, I've always kind of like placed them at my break even points. I'll place them at maybe like 200 points from about there. So just kind of like just aim for just that slight, because this was a 1 to 4, this was a 1 to like 6 around there. I know this one is I think 1 to 3, so this was kind of within the usual range of what I usually actually trade with on my positions, because I always aim for like 1 to 3. I maybe might stretch it slightly a little bit, but if it does come back down and hit my my break even position or my stop loss, that's within profiting. I'm really good. So yeah, what I am going to be kind of expecting with US30 is maybe a possible slight drop to this level here. So if you can get maybe a drop coming back down to this zone here, would be really good. I think, yeah, and this is roughly around it. Yeah, so if we can get a slight retracement layer around the zone here with the resistance bouncing off and pushing to the upside, then we couldn't really get like a nice solid move with a higher high and higher low entry zone. So also I think with US30, I'll be actually taking a bit of a step back just to see how things actually play out as is. When I do see it on the daily, you can be able to see, to you guys know. The reason why I think I'll be waiting is that I want this daily candlestick to actually really just drop and give me a signal of how things are actually going to play out within the week. If I can get that in, then I know how things are going to play out moving forward throughout this week. I think this candlestick is a decisive indicator as is for everything as on hold. And then now, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been dropping. Uh, Bitcoin has been bearish. If you do zoom out onto monthly, you guys can will see creating lower lows and lower highs. Just really just respecting structure as is. I think I'm also kind of just um, waiting for that third wave structure just to actually be able to hit here. So I can be able to kind of just drop for the last time. So this zone is one zone that I'm actually waiting for to actually hit. If not, then you could possibly drop a little lower. So I'm going to wait and see how things are going to play out with the daily candlestick. I think with this candlestick here is if we engulf and close these three candlesticks, then we'll be looking for sell entries throughout the week. But if not, I will be waiting for some kind of like movement with a retracement, rejecting this zone, and then you can be able to drop slightly lower on Bitcoin, maybe even touching 50K. Yeah, below 50K. Yeah, but we'll see on how that plays out. I think Bitcoin is really moving nicely in terms of solid, showing like solid like structure overall. I enjoy trading Bitcoin because volatile moves are kind of like really like up. They could really like can really hit your target um without really waiting for Bitcoin to like range. So I really enjoy Bitcoin, how Bitcoin moves overall as is. So we'll just be kind of waiting and seeing how things play out on the daily, but I think I won't be kind of just looking for a retracement around the zone, a drop below. Now, I'll show you also now the reason why I kind of like stopped trading, what you call it, gold. Gold's one of those pairs, man, that like it's just I don't resonate well with, and I think it's just overall it does kind of like form structure, but it's just it forms it in the most weirdest way, and it can sometimes range for some time. It's just it takes some time to really get kind of like really move into the tolerance zones. I mean, you guys just want to move that zone that I mapped out initially around there, which I was expecting on like a really solid like high, low, low, and high, no high, no low move to the downside, but to play out as is. So gold is a little weird for me. I don't like it. I think it performs much better for traders that actually really trade on a lower time frame. But I'm really much high time. I move it in the high time frames. The lowest I maybe might go is in between like maybe 30, 15 minutes if I really want to kind of like secure my entries well enough. But I think overall it's not really much of a pair that I recently use. But yeah, to each his own. I think looking at the fundamentals, we'll look at last week though. Not gonna backtrack too far enough. I think we'll get like a really solid uh kind of an indication of what to expect moving into this week, looking at last week's fundamentals, because last week we saw that NFP was in play. We did also get talks on the fact that there were kind of like a war tension between the States and Iran could kind of like simmer down. We could necessarily see movement within oil. So that is also really good for the economy overall as is. So yeah, NFP came out really weak, 57K. EDP, NFP was also as well too, came out really weak at that, I think 80, 98K. Also, we have new chairman. So Powell is out, Walsh is in. So now I think we are going to be seeing a couple of more rate cuts coming within the year. He did kind of like state in his promises of what he could actually bring into um, the economic growth of the USA. So we'll be kind of just like seeing on how that plays about within this week. I think based on I think primarily for me is that NFP came out very weak. So coming into a new week, we're not seeing much fundamentals, just services PMI, and then we have FOMC meeting minutes, which is on Wednesday, and it's just like Thursday slight unemployment claims data. So it's not something that is uh, really going to be putting us um, at get a bit of an advantage of seeing like really heavy moves, but I think we could maybe see possible crazy moves on Wednesday because FOMC meeting minutes. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my analysis for the week. Um, do like, comment, share, subscribe onto the YouTube channel. I will be obviously leaving all social media platforms that are available as well to his contact details as is. But yeah, hope this video was helpful to anyone watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.